Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video, let's talk about single page app and the routing in Svelte JS. We have discussed routing in React, routing in Angular, nested routing, lazy loading of the routes, split chunking, a lot of things in the routing. Routing is not just like, rendering the multiple pages on different links. It is really a complex concept when it comes to nested routing, uh, capturing the attributes from the route parameter, passing the query parameter, and loading the routes as a lazy loaded routes, which creates a webpack, a split chunk, a separate chunk. All those concepts are there. Let's talk about first the very basic concepts of the routing. And for routing, we are using Svelte routing. So there are other library also available in the Svelte JS to allow the nested routing and the loading and all. First, let's talk about simple routing example. We are going to use router, link, and route. These words might be familiar because we use the same words in React or any other framework. Svelte routing. This as a dependency we can add in the package JSON. Svelte routing. Okay, and we are good. Now we can come back to app Svelte, and here let's say we are going to build a couple of components that we are going to say, let's say import home from, and we will be adding all these routes. Home Svelte, import another component, let's say about these two components, and I have one base URL for the router, and here we are going to export let URL, and here we are going to define our routing. So we are going to use router, and this is the base path which we will be getting from the parent component, and inside this we can define all our routes. Routes are similar. What we use is a route and the path. Okay, I'm going to load this on this / path and the component. Okay, for this I have a home component. Similarly, I have another route, and the path is, let's say, about. Component will be about component. Okay, so what we want to have is, we also want to have a links on this home page, right? So we can have a nav link. Inside this we can have both the links so that user can click and navigate to these particular links. So we are going to use a link directive that will have this path. We cannot just redirect to this path using simple anchor tag, and these will be the links, and we can just simply say this is the first link with path home. We'll just put the link. Okay, this is taking me to the home, this is taking me to the about. So similarly, you can create n number of component and just put their links there, and this is name and it's inside router. We can put that inside main. And now we have home component and about component. In the home component, I'm going to play with the Pokemons a little bit. So this is my Pokemon name, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a async call, and let's say how we deal with the async promises using Svelte JS templates. Okay, so let's say I'm writing one function async function fetch Pokemon. This is async function. How I can wait for this async call through the template, right? That is interesting. So I can say is, let's show Pokemon equal to fetch Pokemon. This we are calling, and now I can use this show Pokemon in the template. How? I can just use async await and show Pokemon. I can wait for this promise to be resolved. If this promise is resolved, then I will do is, we will get some data. Let's say I got the Pokemon, and if I got the Pokemon, then I will use that data. Maybe I have received an error. So we will deal with the error, and this is the closing of await, right? It's like a chain. Now here, let's say we are making a call, so we can just say, okay, making API call, blah blah blah, and we got successful response. That means we can play with the data of whatever the data we have received. Let's say we have received Pokemon. This is Pokemon is an object. From this we got artwork. Okay, and let's say catch is an error, so we have to show invalid message or anything. Show Pokemon, we are making API call, then then we got the Pokemon from the resolved promise. We received the Pokemon object, we are displaying the information. If we got any error like through the catch error, then we will show this and the await is closed. Now let's work on this API call, and we also need to pass the Pokemon name. Okay, so now we can write a simple form. What that form will do is, it will be just a Pokemon fetcher form, and we can simply bind the value with our Pokemon attribute. And here we have a simple, let's say, okay, and here we are going to call by default for Pikachu. Here the name by default is also Pikachu. I mean, you don't need to specify default if we are passing Pikachu here. So this is a simple API. What we are going to do with this API is await. We can simply use fetch and the API URL if we know. So this is predefined API. Okay, api.co, I think this is some URL. And just pass your URL here. I mean the name of the Pokemon, so it can fetch the details about the Pokemon. Okay, then we are going to extract this JSON, serialize this JSON using response.json, and we are going to get the two properties, name and sprites. And we can get the artwork. I mean, this is how it looks like. Sprites is an object we are going to receive from this API, from their official artwork, and then front default. I just got this mock JSON. I'm just trying to get the value, and from this we are going to return two things, name and artwork. Artwork is actually just an image. So we got the name dot other official artwork, and it's a front default. Okay, let's see this. Identified name is already defined. Let's use it as a Pokemon. Okay, it was just like the attribute mismatch. Now it should work. You can see, we can see the image of the Pikachu because I was using the different objects. Then I checked the API, how it really looks like. This is the public API, and you will see a lot of Pikachu and Pokemon examples from my videos also. It is sprites, and then from there we got the artwork. We are returning this. So this is really nice example, right? How it is working. We are able to manage this async. We can do await, then we got the data. We extract the data. If there is error, we are catching it, and I'm also printing it. So I want to know like why that Pokemon was not being shown. So that is happening here, and we can simply pass this and search this. So it will again make an API call, and here on the on submit, so we are going to submit the form on submit. prevent default, and we can simply call fetch Pokemon. Okay, this is a simple example which is showing the routing and a couple of new things about the Svelte JS, like how to deal with async, await, and you can await through these simple expressions in the Svelte JS. This is really nice. I really like this because let's say we are doing all these things in simple plain HTML. We can track the API call, track the error, track the data.